Journey of a raindrop. Hello, young scientists. Have you ever wondered where rain comes from, or what happens to the water when it disappears after a hot day? Well, today we're going on an exciting journey with a tiny little raindrop to discover the magic of the water cycle. The water you see in oceans, rivers, or even in your glass keeps moving around and around, but how does it do that? Get ready to find out how water travels from the earth to the sky and back again in a never-ending adventure. Let's dive in. The water cycle adventure. Evaporation. It all begins with a warm, sunny day, when the sun shines down on oceans, lakes, and rivers. It heats the water. Have you ever seen a puddle dry up after a sunny day? That's because the heat from the sun turns the water into an invisible gas called water vapor. This process is called evaporation. As the water molecules get warmer, they start to move faster and jump into the air. Just like magic, the water floats up into the sky. Imagine the water as tiny superheroes taking flight. Can you hear the sound of bubbling water? That's the sound of evaporation happening. So next time you see the sun shining on water, remember that it's not just warming it up, it's sending it on a journey into the sky. Condensation. Now that our superhero water vapor is way up in the sky, guess what happens next? It gets colder up there. As the water vapor cools down, it starts to slow down and change back into tiny water droplets. This part is called condensation. These tiny water droplets gather together, holding hands to form something we all know: clouds. Have you ever looked up at the sky and seen those fluffy clouds floating by? That's where the water droplets are hiding, waiting for their next adventure. When you see a big puffy cloud, think of all those little water droplets coming together, like a team of friends, ready for the next part of their exciting water cycle journey. Precipitation. Our journey with the water droplets continues. As more and more droplets gather together in the clouds get heavier and darker. And when they can't hold all that water anymore, it's time for precipitation. This is when the water falls back down to earth as rain, snow, sleet, or even hail. If it's warm, the water droplets will come down as rain, making everything wet and fresh. If it's cold, the droplets turn into snowflakes, gently covering the ground in a white, fluffy blanket. Imagine the water droplets shouting "wee" as they fall back to the ground. So whether it's raining, snowing, or hailing, it's all thanks to precipitation. The water is returning to earth, ready for the next part of its adventure. Collection. After the water falls back to earth as rain or snow, where does it go? This is the final part of our water cycle journey, called collection. When the rain reaches the ground, it flows into rivers, lakes, oceans, or even sinks into the soil, becoming part of underground water. Some of it gets soaked up by plants and trees, helping them grow big and strong. The rest of the water collects in oceans, rivers, and streams, waiting for the sun to heat it up again so the water cycle can start all over. So, whether it's in a lake where fish swim, in the ocean with big waves, or underground, the water is always on the move, getting ready for its next adventure. And guess what? The water cycle never stops, it just keeps going around and around. Fun facts. Old as dinosaurs. Did you know the water we drink today is super old? Some of the water molecules might have been around since the time of the dinosaurs. So, the next time you take a sip of water, think about how ancient it might be. Water everywhere. Earth is a very watery place. About 70% of the Earth is covered in water, but only 3% of that water is fresh water that we can drink. The rest is salty water in the oceans. Clouds are heavy. Clouds may look light and fluffy, but did you know they can weigh as much as 1,000,000 pounds? That's like 100 elephants floating in the sky. Rain travels fast. When rain falls, it doesn't just float down, it can fall as fast as 22 miles per hour. That's faster than a car driving in the city. Your water too. Our bodies are made of about 60% water. That means we're like walking water balloons in a way. Thanks for joining me today, young scientists. I hope you had as much fun learning about the water cycle as I did sharing it with you. Don't forget, the world around you is full of amazing science, and it's happening right before your eyes. Every time it rains or you see a cloud in the sky, remember the journey water takes all around the Earth. Science is everywhere, always teaching us something new. So keep exploring, stay curious, and be ready for our next exciting adventure. Until then, remember learning is a never-ending journey, just like the water cycle. See you soon on our next episode.